Welcome to another episode of Sawdust. On this season finale for season 2, we are going to explore our capabilities in the shop and specifically building a custom kitchen for our project down on the ocean. This project highlights one of my favorite parts of our construction company, and that is our custom cabinetry. So this particular project, we've built all the cabinetry in this project. We use the CNC machine to do all our cutting, and then a combination of fabrication in the shop and on site. So Matt Morgan is going to start us off there where we've got the kitchen space demoed.
I'm Jeff Sweenor, President and CEO of Sweenor Builders. For more than 30 years, we've been building coastal homes meant to last 100+ years. Our team of talented craftsmen and design professionals are committed to delivering extraordinary results through the best practices and techniques in custom home building. Our final product has to be beautiful, highly efficient, and use advanced building science to stand up to the harsh coastal conditions. On this season of Sawdust, we're pulling back the curtain to give you an inside look at what we do.
Welcome to our oceanfront property again. Another project that we're working on. This is going to be the future kitchen. We're going to be working with a lot of custom elements for this house, a lot of existing conditions with modern appliances. And how do you address, working with a house that's been settling, moving over the years, existing hardwood that we want to preserve and protect, HVAC systems that have been upgraded, as well as adding new systems. How do we integrate that in? And what we found is that going custom with our cabinetry really allows us to integrate that into kind of a seamless process here at Sweenor. Just to give you kind of a lay of the land of what this project will look like, we have lower cabinetry over here with a sink and windows, more cabinetry, then we'll have full floor-to-ceiling built-ins with some cabinetry along the bottom. You'll notice that we have some existing HVAC in the historic floors that we will not be moving, as well as we're going to be adding an island. So we had to snake electrical wire in for code reasons, as well as functionality of the island space. So you can really get the sense of the challenges that we're dealing with. So by doing this in-house, it's really a cost-effective approach for not only us, but the client, because there isn't downtime or redesign fees, sending out to a vendor. They have to make updated shop drawings, send back, then we have to review, send those back out for approval. It really saves a lot of trades and costs for the owner as well as us. So one of the big challenges that we've encountered with this particular kitchen and a lot of the cabinetry on this project is the heat lines. Having to maintain the exterior wall with the heat as well as having cabinetry there. How do you integrate the heating system with the cabinetry without losing airflow, efficiency, comfort for the owners? So with the CNC and our in-house shop, we can seamlessly integrate a custom design that will maintain the airflow and also be customized to match any type of cabinetry that we want.
So this is our CNC. It's a 5-foot by 10-foot bed. Basically, you set a program in and the machine runs through, picks the correct bit, and it knows exactly what to cut out and optimizes the cutting. The machine allows us to use AutoCAD. We can use some other back-end programs to make the perfect part on an electronic file, transfer it over to the machine, and it cuts perfectly. It's definitely a higher precision product rather than table saws and sleds. It's faster, and because it's been built parametrically in a 3D environment, we know everything's going to fit together. We know it's going to fit in the room. We know that the pieces are going to fit left to right. It kind of doesn't allow us to mess up in that way. It saves time, it saves money, and increases the quality. This is the island that we're building. We can explode this model. So we're cutting all the plywood parts, but we've got calculations on all the rails and stiles, door panels. So I just tell it which part we're cutting, and then that cabinet, same cabinet's now broken into all its components and nested on the sheet, so there's very little, if any, waste. Well, it might have been 2 or 3 people creating different parts for the same project. Now I'm here on the machine creating all the parts, and the next person just has to build. There's no overlap and repeating. Everything's there and everything's ready to go.
After the carcasses come off the CNC that Ben prints out, it comes over to me with these plans. Then I finish them up by popping a face frame on and whatever trim details are going to be a part of this cabinet. The CNC prints our boxes perfectly square, and that's the foundation of what we're building here. After it comes off the rig, there's a lot of nuance that's involved, especially even in a new house. All of our face frames are built with scribes in them. You know, everything's made to fit perfectly onto what's actually here and not necessarily what's on the paper. So it takes people to be able to do that. And then all of our pieces have, you know, a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch scribe. In this situation, they asked for a 3/4 scribe instead of our typical 1/2 inch because it's an old house and there's a lot of variance in the house itself. So that's going to become important when it comes time to install, so that this piece, once it's scribed into place and once it's sitting there, it looks like it's always been there.
We're here in the Sweenor Builders Millwork shop, and we are working on our kitchen project. Right now, we have all of our cabinet components cut on the CNC and assembled and screwed together. And the stage we're at right now is basically constructing our face frames, getting them glued on, and then working on doors, drawers, hardware from there. So this is where we're at. We have Matt, he's building this face frame for this bank of cabinets that we screwed together. We try to, depending on the room and how much we can get through a door, we try to do as much as we can in one bank screwed together. So there's less joinery that has to happen on the field. So right here is an example of one wall that we've completed with all our face frames on our cabinetry. We have a couple of details. We added in venting at the bottom of these cabinets, cut into the toe kicks on the CNC. There's a parting bead detail on all these cabinets. So right now, on this face frame right here, Matt has cut all of his stiles and rails to finish length, and all he has to do now is apply the parting bead. So he's cutting in each and every piece of parting bead with miters that go on the inside corners. This isn't like your typical kitchen. There's a lot of small details that go into this to make it happen. These are the drawings, and this comes right off of our program we use, Mosaic. Basically, we try to have one set of drawings throughout, and this is exactly what is getting cut on the CNC. So all our plywood components are already cut, and now we're doing the face frames and all the detailed work to get them ready for install. To help the guys even more, I'm taking these drawings and I dissect them into plans that have all the openings, the stile and rail widths, just so there's really no miscommunication when it comes to doing the face frame, getting it onto the cabinet. We don't want to do things twice, especially the speed we're working at. We need to be as efficient as possible and get them done. So we're here in the Sweenor Builders Millwork shop, and the carcass and the face frames are 100% done, and she's ready to leave the shop at this stage. Matt just did kind of the last touches. We got all our toe kicks, side panels, everything loose so the painters can spray it separately in a spray booth. I got all the hardware in there for the guys on site to install the drawers and the doors as well. We're just wrapping them up. We're gonna put some moving blankets in the van. We're gonna back the van up to the door. We like to have things on wheels so we can move them around easily. We're ready to send this sink base cabinet out to our job site. All the cabinets have a number based on the drawings that we've made. So this is our sink base. It's technically cabinet number 14. So this whole kitchen has 16 boxes all together. So this is 14. We started with 1. So now we're kind of at the tail end. We're looking good. We're looking good. So when the guys get on site, they know, based on the drawings, where this cabinet's gonna live and where it needs to be installed. Once the cabinets get installed, we're gonna have a nice finished product.
So we're back here over at our project house. Give you an update. Lots of cabinetry from our shop has arrived and we've begun the install. We've got our freestanding island, we've got refrigerator cabinets, custom hood, sink base area, uppers. We've got a nice bench area here. So a major benefit of our CNC process is we can integrate completely custom items within our cabinetry. One of the components that we've done here is we've added venting for our radiant heat that goes all the way around the house. We weren't really finding anything off the shelf that really worked with the design. So in-house we were able to design the grill pattern so that we could maximize the airflow, but it also didn't detract from our design of the cabinetry. So now that you've seen where we started and where we are now, we still have the finishes and everything, but you can understand the capabilities that the CNC and our shop allows us to integrate completely custom items on a lot of our custom homes.
So the thing about Sawdust is that it gives us the ability to highlight our people. Gives us the ability to highlight our craft and the people that execute it with such passion and creativity and enthusiasm, because that's what makes our company unique, is the people. The only way that I know how to illustrate that, other than firsthand experience, is to capture it, in film. And it showcases a lot of variety. Like this past season, we saw the whole gamut. This crazy tent-in project to replace the roof down on the ocean, the complexity of the oak ceiling that Kevin did. We saw a little bit of candy cane making and a little bit of Generation Next, so sort of highlighting our path to a career. We did some window installation. We saw that porte-cochere, how we rebuilt that. Saw a little bit of our utility room, which is always something I like to highlight. But the best for the last is sort of the cabinetry piece. It's sort of near and dear to my heart, and it's always been a goal to be able to completely execute all of the cabinetry in a home. And we've finally gotten to that stage in our career, both from a skill level and from a facility level. So we were always sort of lacking in the amount of space that we had in our shop and the amount of equipment necessary to execute a full kitchen, and we're finally there. So that is probably the one I'm looking the most forward to, because it's the ultimate skill set in building a home, and that is to build all of the cabinetry within the home. So that's a wrap for season 2. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank all of our partners, all of our vendors, everybody that played along with us to make this possible. I want to thank Anderson Windows, our sponsor. Last but not least, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, send us a comment, and we'll see you on a future season of Sawdust where we show you extraordinary.